Yes, it is only week 4. Yes, the Detroit Lions have a bye week in week 5. Yes, we don't play the Dallas Cowboys for 6 weeks. But this news is big enough that we're going to talk about it right now. Now, just for the record, I'm not overlooking the Seattle Seahawks. These guys have beat us 3 times in a row. It's time to get that monkey off our back. But by no means am I looking past them or through them. But this is very significant because it is against a team that I'm sure every Detroit Lions fans hate with a absolute passion. Now, again, nobody is wishing injury on any of these fellas. This is not, nobody's happy and popping bottles, but this is very significant. And that is the Detroit Lions will be facing the Dallas Cowboys in week 6. Now, we know that we're going in pretty banged up. Frank Ragnow is already not going to play. That was confirmed by Dan Campbell. I'm sure if Dan Campbell could go back, he would use a different choice of words than we're going to put him down, because that seems like you're putting a dog or an animal out of their misery. But I'm sure Dan Campbell would redo those words, but we all knew what he meant. But the news is that the Detroit Lions will most likely face the Dallas Cowboys without 2, not only of their best defenders, but rushers, edge rushers, pass rushers will be out against the Detroit Lions. This is coming from Tom Pelissero. Says, Cowboys' DeMarcus Lawrence is expected to miss multiple weeks because of the foot injury he suffered Thursday night, per source. And with Micah Parsons dealing with a high ankle sprain, Dallas is now likely to be without 2 of its top defenders until after the bye week. Now, it was confirmed by an MRI that Micah Parsons has a high ankle sprain. And we just talked about that, how long those are going to take. Now, to heal, this is coming from Mike McCarthy from Bleacher Report. Says, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy told reporters Lawrence's injury is worse than Parsons, adding that both players' injuries are worse than they expected and that they'll each get a second opinion. But here's the key, elaborating more on Tom Pelissero's post. Says, Pelissero noted on Friday that Lawrence and Parsons are likely going to remain out until the Cowboys' week 7 bye. If that's the case, the earliest chance to return will be against the San Francisco 49ers in October 27th. So the Detroit Lions are off week 5. Then we come back in week 6 and play the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are then off in week 7, and then week 8 would be where they return, which is exactly 1 month from now. A high ankle sprain can take some time to heal, and that it is already been confirmed that that is what Micah Parsons has. DeMarcus Lawrence, I saw him getting his foot taped up yesterday. I do not think he went back in, and I also saw the injury to Micah Parsons. How does this affect the Detroit Lions? Our offensive line is pretty good, and we've held our own against both of these guys. But we are looking to beat Dallas. Every team around the NFL is banged up, and this is going to significantly take pressure off that offensive line. Here's what Micah has done this year. Not really making any noise this year. Not at all. This year, he has 11 total tackles and 1 sack. If we look at what he's done, let's look at his game log. The last time Micah Parsons had a sack was the first game of the season. He had 1 sack against Deshaun Watson the first game of the season. He's pretty much been MIA as far as just period compared to what he's done years prior. Look at this guy. Years prior, 13 sacks his rookie season, 13 and a half. His second season, 14 last year, and a measly 1 after 3 games. It's safe to say he is not going to reach the levels of the previous years, because when he comes back, he is going to, they're probably, I don't know if they'll put the guy on IR. Okay, let's look at DeMarcus Lawrence. What is he doing? Now, he's doing better. He has 7 solo tackles and 3 sacks. If we look at his game log and see what he's done, he got 2 sacks against the Cleveland Browns and then got 1 last night against Daniel Jones. But again, these guys, The Detroit Lions have held their own against the Dallas Cowboys defensive line. But let's be real. If we take one of their premier pass rushers and a guy that's been in the league for a long time but still doing it at a high level, we take those guys away. The Detroit Lions' chances to win the game went up tremendously. Getting to Dak Prescott, going into the game yesterday, the Dallas Cowboys are the worst team in the league against the run. We have David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, I don't know how much they went up after yesterday's win. They held the Giants to pretty stiff. I think it was 1.2 yards a carry, so they might have jumped up a little bit. But that don't mean nothing when it comes to us. Our offensive line, our running back tandem. But here's what I'm talking about. No DeMarcus Lawrence, no Micah Parsons, who is their best threat on defense. You've got Diggs. So you've got guys on defense. And the Dallas Cowboys have really kind of gotten to Jared Goff, whether it's intercepting him and things like that. But if we're going in to Dallas and they're going to be down two of their best defenders, our offense is going to have more time to work that ball down the field. If you take away DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons, Jared Goff, his time in the pocket had to shoot up. No doubt about it, which will give him more opportunity to find a receiver and pick them apart. So this is big news. Again, not advocating for anybody's injury. That's just evil. But these guys, we got a bone to pick with them. And if we get the best of them, I mean, you love to take somebody and play them at full strength and stuff like that. That's just the way, the spirit of competition. But if you tell me, that's like if we lost one of our players. I mean, we're going into playing Seattle with no Frank Ragnow. You know what I'm saying? So it happens around the league. But this is a huge blow for Dallas. And Dallas kind of stinks. They barely beat Daniel Jones and them yesterday. Really. If Wan'Dale Robinson is a wee bit taller, if Malik Neighbors can secure the catch, Dallas is 1-3. So I think the Lions had a really good chance to beat them anyway, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But I think their chances just shot up, and they were already favored, I think, in this game. And now it had to have increased. So let me know your thoughts, man. No Micah Parsons, no DeMarcus Lawrence. They'll get a second opinion, but I'm going to tell you right now, they're not playing. They're not playing. It's a lot of season left. It's not like it's the end of the season. Remember, C.J. Gardner-Johnson got hurt in week 2. He didn't come back till week 17. And he worked his tail off to come back. These guys are not playing. It will make no sense for them to play, even if they lose their next game. I thought about this last night. Yeah, they got the win. Now they're sitting at 2-2. They got 10 days off. And we didn't know what the severity of their injury was at the time. But I'm thinking, you know what? They could, even if winning against the Giants, they play, I forgot who they play next. But they could very well lose that game the way they played yesterday and be 2-3 playing us. The Dallas Cowboys can be 2-4 going into that bye week. So let me know your thoughts, man. Again, hate this team. But the human side of me doesn't want to see injury on anybody. But this is a big blow to the Dallas Cowboys, but not only for the game against the Detroit Lions, but the next game as well. And I want to know who they play. Dallas Cowboys, who do they play next week? Let's see what their schedule is, because I want to know. NFL week 5, and the Dallas Cowboys play who? They play the Steelers, the Lions, and the 49ers. Then they got the Falcons, Eagles, and Texans. Yikes. So they play a surprisingly good Steelers team. Their defense is everywhere. Well, we gonna see. But hey, after what happened with Dallas, man, I can't say I feel no type of way. I mean, nobody should be hurt, but I can't say I'm mad at all. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Would you have rather play with Micah Parsons and Dallas at full strength? But I think it's tough to play any team at full strength. Look at the Rams, what they did last week. Look at the 49ers, what they're going through, right? Both good things, by the way. And look at us, right? So this is how it is. You play who you play. You play who's played the game, right? So anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.